Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Welcome back to another live stream. Hopefully this one works better than yesterday's did. We'll see how it goes. Starting off with an excellent connection, like we had yesterday, but for some reason we were buffering nonstop. I think there was just a lot going on yesterday, and there was a lot of activity online. Welcome. This is a Q&A live stream. I'm starting off talking about the activity in the Schumann resonance. As yesterday, today showing some spiking in the Schumann. Those of you that are sensitive to the spikes in the Schumann, you don't need me to tell you that, do you, Jonathan? What's going on, guys? Bobby Darren, the assistant in the house today. Yo, yo, yo. So far, so good. Hopefully it'll stay that way. How's everybody doing today? Doing good? Good afternoon, Roach. Let's go. Actually got a notification. Thank you, Bobby, for sharing that with me. I get these all the time from people, and I've pretty much, I'm just, I don't know what to do. People all the time tell me, what's eerie is you were unsubscribed from my YouTube. People tell me that all the time. Guys, I don't know why. I don't have any control over that. If I did, you would all be subscribed, of course, and you would all be notified. But you have some awesome pics. Thank you, Darren. You can send those pics to reports@mrmbb333.com. Zeroed podcast, zeroed in. Yeah, the Schumann has for the last... I've just got a slideshow playing right now, guys. We're going to talk about the Schumann. Hello from Utah. Nikki Hatch. Pittsburgh in the house. Just reading some of the comments, guys. Hey, Jonathan. Good to see everybody here today. Yeah. Welcome aboard. We're going to try today a question and answer live stream. And basically, this was my request. In fact, I had it written down up here on a card. I think I've used the card yesterday. I do write a lot of note cards out because it's helpful to me. Sometimes if I can see it on paper, maybe a little note card. I know the digital calendars and all that stuff work out great, but when you're working at a desk, I still prefer a note card. I'm just kind of an old school kind of a guy. Hey, Texas sunny days. Kevin, good afternoon. Hello from Louisville, Kentucky. Went through Louisville once many years ago. Pittsburgh, never been to Pennsylvania. Been to Florida. Been to Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Hammond, Louisiana. Been to Louisiana, John. Welcome aboard. Let me show you guys the Schumann. You saw it on the thumbnail of the video, obviously. And here is a close-up view. You can see temporarily for about 2 hours-ish, hour and a half, maybe 90 minutes. It peaked over 40 hertz. The average is 7.83. That's the, wait a minute, right there. Yeah, 7.8. That's the average. The Schumann is they call it the heartbeat of the earth, the frequency of the earth. Everything is all about frequencies. And that's a frequency that we're all a part of. We're all in this together, and you can't avoid it. You're impacted by the Schumann resonance, whether we like it or not, right? Let me take this out here. All right. Oh, waiting on a picture from Wes. Wes, I got your one picture, sir. Thank you. Just waiting on the other one. Thank you, Wes. Wes sends me pictures of his UV readings from Wichita, Kansas. You're welcome, Wade. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Honestly, it is. I enjoy studying the earth. I've studied the earth for many, many years, and the things that make all this go round. You know the old saying, what makes it go round and round. I don't know. I find it quite fascinating. That's all. And I want to understand. Drought going on here in Southeast Ohio. Hello, Netherlands. What's going on? From Laura from Scottsdale. Scottsdale, my neighbor. Got a neighbor here in the house. Grand Rapids, Michigan. The drought, believe it or not, in Southeast Ohio is caused by the La Nina, El Nino transition. And that transition that occurs every year to 3 years, 4 years, can create, believe it or not, very specific droughts in very specific locations. Oh yeah, it's weird. It's very, very weird. I've studied the phenomena, and It's uncanny how it can make it not rain. It won't rain in a very specific area, like, for instance, Southeast Ohio. It's because of that transition. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Dion. Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. Netherlands. Fuctus. Hi there. How you doing? Anybody got any questions or anything you want to just talk about? That's what we're kind of doing. We're having an open live stream, and we'll talk about certain things within reason, you know. Oh, I want to give just a quick mention here to Mags out of West Central Florida. Mags, if you're watching, I'm still analyzing your video. I get people that share videos with me all the time, pretty much on a day-to-day basis, and that's one that I'm working on, but I didn't have any other way to communicate with you, Mags, so I am working on your video. I did get it. Thank you very much. If you guys have any photos or videos that you'd like me to take a look at, you can send those to reports@mrmbb333.com over here at the homepage of the website, which is mrmbb333.com. Or if you have a larger video that won't attach to the email, because sometimes that's a thing. Bigger files won't attach to emails. Just depends on the email. Maybe it depends on the day. I don't know. But that's a Dropbox. Here, I'll show you how it works. Watch. Click on this red tab right there. Just click on it. Piece of cake, right? There's the Dropbox. You can drag and drop videos, photos. Just, if you would, somewhere at the top, you know, where the number of the video's at, highlight it in blue and put your name, date, and location. You don't even have to put your last name. Just something to go by that I can give you credit. I like to give you credit, you know, so put your name on there and the date and general location. If you don't want to be specific, that's cool. Oklahoma's fine. Alabama's fine. Florida's fine. Wherever. You don't have to be super specific. But I do like to kind of have a vague idea of where we're looking at what, because you guys do send in a lot of cool things. Oh yeah, and make sure you hit the like button, guys, if you would, please. It's free, doesn't cost anything. Just hit the like button. It kind of gives the video a little bit of a boost, and we need all the help we can get these days, right? Hey, we're at 333 viewers. Let's go. Let's make it happen. The moderator's ears are ringing. Anybody else's ears ringing? That's a common trend that we've noticed with two different things. Let me see, Wes, did I get your photo? Hold on, guys. I think I got Wes's photo. Wes, didn't get it yet, buddy. It's still coming in. Here's the thing. When the Schumann is up, which it's up today, and coronal holes are facing the Earth, we were going to try to talk about this yesterday, but couldn't. Here's the internet speed yesterday. I know a lot of people were like, well, why are you sharing your download speed? Because I thought the upload speed was there as well. Right here it is. Actually, the numbers were a little better. 734 download speed and 114 upload speed. That's still enough to manage 6 live streams simultaneously. But nevertheless, it was just a lot of activity yesterday. That's how it goes sometimes. But I did a report on coronal holes, and one of the common traits, common denominators amongst people that participated in the survey that we did, we actually did a study, was ringing of the ears. Yeah, when this energy impacts the Earth, some people, not everybody, were sensitive, and one of those sensitivities was ringing of the ears. Just like today with the juiced up Schumann, people have a similar side effect, if you will, ringing of the ears. That's how they know, hey, the Schumann must be spiking today because my ears have that little bit of ringing. And the thing of it is, too, one thing that we've talked about a little bit on this channel, and I'm going to ask you guys if you think this. Do you guys think that the sound of silence has changed? Yes or no? Do you think the sound of silence has changed? I personally do. And I know that's a weird question because how does silence have a sound? It's silent, right? Well, not entirely. If you're sitting in a quiet room with no sound, you can hear on certain days a resonance, maybe a ringing, to where thinking back, like when I was a kid, even a younger man, I don't remember that, you know. Alex will. Thank you, Alex. Do you guys remember that? Yes, definitely. I'm seeing a lot of yeses over there. Absolutely, yes. Ronnie, buzzing, that's a good definition. What would you guys describe it as? Like a buzzing, like Ronnie said? Some people describe it as metal grinding together. Too much machinery around. Fuctus. Yes, Linda B. Only because I have tinnitus ringing all the time. Allie has tinnitus, and tinnitus is a real thing. Yes, it certainly is. Okay, Rhonda Yoder says sometimes it's louder than others. I agree. That is a common denominator. And when we did the coronal hole study here, people did say that sometimes the sound of silence was louder than others. Totally agree. Buzzing. Graham never got a notification. Sorry, Graham. Graham, if it was up to me, I would notify you every single time. I don't know why that happens that way. I apologize. I'm glad you checked in, though, Graham. Always a pleasure to have you around. Always a pleasure. Yes, silence has changed. My ringing makes, yep. Greetings from Phoenix. Hello, Captain Slack. You're my neighbor. How's it going there, buddy? I never remember silence. I've had tinnitus since 1989. Yes, a buzzing. I'm looking at some of the comments, guys. Thank you for the comments, by the way. This is how we learn, you know. Buzzing. We're talking about ringing. A low hum. Bobby Eric, a low hum. TMJ, Janet. Thank you, Janet. TMJ is a real thing. Yes. The moderator is familiar with TMJ. 4.5 hertz ringing for me. Cypher 9. That is very specific. Thank you. Let's hum everything. Love your channel. Thank you, Leslie. Appreciate the kind words. That's what we like. We like kindness, and we like love, and we like peace. We like the good vibrations. You know what I mean? Maybe that'll change the sound of silence to something more pleasant, because sometimes the sound of silence. Hello, San Diego. Alex Will in the house. Wow, I forgot to hit the like button. Thank you, moderator. And I see people are hitting the likes. And when you hit the likes, it kind of pushes the video out there a little farther, guys. That's all. I'm not over here trying to win a like popularity contest, but it does affect the video. If the videos, whether it's mine or anybody else's for that matter, just know that the more likes that any video gets, the more that the algorithm is going to be inclined to recommend it. And it makes sense. It's not going to recommend a video that's not being perceived, you know, as popular. It wants to push forward videos that people seem to like. So the more you like it, the more it gets pushed. Yay, that's all. It's just common sense. We're not trying to win a popularity contest. Michelle Marshall, 444 people in the house. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Ronnie. Graham Giles, strange humming is being caused by new radar tracking technology. Very possible, Graham. I think it's caused by a lot of things. I think it's a combination of both. This is just my personal opinion. I think it's a combination of all of the new technology that we're all, really, to be honest, we're all still acclimating to this new technology. Back when I was a kid growing up, there weren't cell towers all over the place. There weren't direct TV satellites all over the place as far as satellite communication. You had cable that was in the ground, or you had an antenna. I mean, I'm from the generation that antennas were a thing. I was just a little guy. I barely remember it, but that was the thing, analog TV. Let's see, what else? The cell towers, the modems and routers and things like that. I think it's affecting the sound of silence. I really and truly do. And then, of course, the changes in the Earth's Schumann resonance, the frequency of the Earth, the frequency of the sun, a combination of all that has changed the sound of silence and how we perceive it. Absolutely. Andrew Pastor, thank you. Everything in the realm electromagnetic. Very true, Ronnie. That's kind of what I'm getting at. EMPs in general, you know. And I think that's what's affecting the blinking lights. I know people are tired of hearing about the blinking lights because I've been talking about it for almost a year, off and on, not every day. If you'll notice, I haven't been talking about it every day, even though I have a folder of brand new videos on my desktop that I haven't shared yet. And I probably won't, maybe a few, but people are still seeing those. So, you know, that could be associated with the ringing of the ears that people are seeing. Maybe the lights are trying to tell us they're feeling the frequency too. That's all. I think it's just part of a bigger picture, guys. I really and truly do, or I wouldn't share it with you guys. Do you think I like to sit around and look at blinking lights? Come on. No. But it's part of a bigger picture. That's all. Yeah. 444 signifies powerful support, stability, and guidance from guardian angels. Thank you, Michelle Marshall. We all need that. We need that every day. Yes, we need that. We need positivity. Graham, has anyone used schematics to actually see what these frequencies actually look like? I tried. You can get this thing. They're very expensive. It's called an induction magnometer. And if you get the, hey, Canada in the house, what's going on? You can get an induction magnometer and it will pick up frequencies. I used to, Graham, track comets with an induction magnometer. I no longer have access to the magnometer, no. But it was very, very cool because it would detect that energy from a comet millions of miles away. And the instrument was right here on Earth up in Alaska. Yeah. Amazing community. Thank you, Ronnie. Yeah, we do have an amazing community here. We have a lot of very smart, curious people that just genuinely want to learn. You know what I mean? Not that we have all the answers. We don't. We're learning too. We're always learning. You can learn something new every day. And that's what I try to do. I try to learn something new every day. And eventually, hello, Crypto Billy. What's up, Crypto Billy? I'm trying to keep track of the comments over here the best that I can. The sky itself looks more dull recently to me. I'm short dog. Okay. I respect that. Thanks for what you do, buddy. You're welcome, Killer Bee Trippin'. Where's the black rainbow? I'm sorry. Let me look. This is a long play video that I made for you guys. Where was the black rainbow? Right there. Brooksville, Florida. Marianne Soper, Brooksville, Florida was that black rainbow. And we get those every once in a while. They come in. Isn't that wild? You know, and maybe it's the frequencies that are zipping around in the atmosphere that are even affecting photons and light crystals in the sky. You know it. I wonder what that black rainbow means. That's a good question. Good question. Neil. Yeah, I know. Every once in a while we'll get black halos. At least dark. I don't think... maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look back and see. But it seems like maybe in the past we've received black halos up in the sky around the sun. At least some that were very dark and highly photogenic. You know what I mean? I know, Leslie. Isn't that cool? A black double-decker rainbow. I mean, it was stunning. That was very stunning. That was out of Florida. And what you're looking at here, this is just basically a 30-minute long play, high-resolution video that I've made for you guys. Just some interesting photos and videos like you're seeing right here that I put together. I could probably make a long play video 500 hours long. I've got that much data of various things. This is a volcano eruption down in Indonesia. Yeah, if you guys have questions or you want to talk about anything, hey, Graham, ask Travis. I have talked to Travis up at Skinwalker Ranch to get a hold of Somatics tone generator. It gets hooked up to a metal plate. I thought that's what you were alluding to. I tried to do that out in the garage here a couple of months ago, Graham. And that creates some absolutely beautiful patterns. Yeah, it does. I just didn't have the right table. So I had to, hey, what's up, Australia in the house? Donna Visco wanted to come by and say hello. Star family member Donna Visco, greetings from Philly. I'm glad you're here today, Donna. Thank you for stopping by. Australia in the house, Marie Fila. I hope I got that. Fela. Hope I got that right. Good morning. Good morning. It's morning in Australia. It certainly is. It is 1:36 here in Arizona. Great video. Thank you. You're welcome, Sue Couture. Hey, Betsy. I'm just trying to say hi to everybody. Leslie, Beans, and Frank in the house. C. Coop, Lori, Ronnie once again. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good Friday. You know what? It's Friday again. And we've been talking about that too for the last 2 or 3 months. Just how quick. Seems like every time we turn around, it's Friday again. And I like Friday. Friday's a great day, you know. Hey, Lori Gagnon, thank you for the dancing pear. Appreciate that. Don't see those very often. That's cool. Thank you. That's very, very kind. Yeah, you know, every time we turn around, it's Friday. It almost seems like time is moving by faster. And that's a question that I want to ask you guys. Because if you want to know the answer to something, ask the chat. The chat, I'm talking about the real chat, not AI. This chat right here. You guys are good. You guys are what made AI chat, just so you know. All of the people and all their bright ideas was what's, you know, helped make AI. No joke. What was the question? I forgot my question. Oh, good grief. Oh, that's the question I have. Do you guys feel that time is moving by faster, or your perception of time? I personally do. I got to be honest. I know sometimes when we're busy and we have busy days and a lot of things to do, time can go by fast. It's kind of always been like that, you know. Days that are just kind of slow, rainy days where you can't get outside and do anything, and you got all your chores and everything caught up at home. Those days can go by a little bit slower. But it seems like with me personally, and I'm just sharing this with you guys personally, no matter what the circumstances are, if I'm very busy in here, which normally I am, I spend anywhere from 5 to 8 hours a day getting ready to do a YouTube video. You can't just sit down and put one of these videos together in 5 minutes. It just doesn't work that way. It wouldn't be very good if you did. It takes a while to narrate, to edit, to get the good data, do some, you know, sensible research that's appealing and make a decent banner. It takes hours. So my days are pretty much the same, but some days it seems like the next thing I know, it's already 3, 4 o'clock and I'm still not done. I'm still trying to get my video together and I feel like I'm running in the mud because time's going by so fast. And then other days, you know, I'm doing the same thing and then time will go by a little slower. But for the most part, 9 out of 10 days seem faster. Just seem faster. Let me see what the chat says. Yes, Janet says yes. Grandma Bev, yes. Okay. Teresa, I was going to talk about 3i Atlas. I have not seen a change since the last update that I gave you guys. I'll show you that update. In fact, I'll show it to you right now, Teresa. The last update I did is, I believe, right here. Here we go. Here's the last update I did on the Interstellar Traveler. And they've managed to pull forward this Michael out of Namibia, Michael Jaeger, I think Jay's silent. There it is on the left and right. The left being the original photo. And you can tell that they had to put, they juiced it quite a bit because you can tell the stars bright orange down there. And even the deep, deep space background stars are just bursting with color. And that pulled forward the color that you can see on the right of the Interstellar Traveler. So in this update that I did on the 8th, about 4 days ago, you can kind of see it's starting to show signs of a green coma. Right there's where it's at. It's approaching the neighborhood of Mars. It's getting about as close to the sun as it's going to get. I mean, there it is right there in the middle of the screen. Those of you that are following the Interstellar Traveler, right there it is. But I got to be honest, in this format right here, it still shows no sign of a tail. But Michael's very good at what he does. He did manage to pull forward that coma, and it's very thin. You know, it's just super thin. He put a lot of effort into that and hard work. He's very good at what he does, and I appreciate and respect his efforts. He's good. But I will say this thing right here. Here's the Interstellar Traveler. It's got some unique surface features on it. I've never seen anything quite like this, because what you see off the back side of this thing should be completely enveloped in a tail. A very, very dusty tail, because this thing has been traveling for a long, long time. There should be a lot of dust on this thing, but there isn't. So the very fact that there's an absence of dust and it's not going super sublime is a bit mysterious. I got to admit, yes, time is flying by. Grandma Bev, I hear you, man. Yeah, is there any information? Right there's the information I just shared, guys. It's beginning to look more and more like a comet. It is. Not a typical comet, though. Okay, it's a mysterious type of a comet. It is, but we're starting to see a little bit of a thin coma, but it's not going sublime much at all. Ringing and popping in the ears. Thank you, Debster from New York. Michael Archangel. It's a mothership. You know, Michael, there have been times, some of the video footage that I've seen of this thing, once I zoomed in on it and cleaned it up so we could see it, denoised it and stuff like that, I didn't think it was a comet. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but it just didn't look like a typical comet. So thank you for all the likes, guys. I appreciate that. Everybody liking, read an article that they are detecting plasma from Atlas. Thank you, Graham. There's something about CO. I read an article about CO and the absence of CO2 and you know, even the experts in the astrophysics world, they're still a little bit puzzled by this thing, and I can see why. I can see why, absolutely. Beans and Frank's Spaceball. That's a good one. Thank you. I appreciate that. Interstellar, Laureen, Renee, it is Interstellar. It came from a different star. That thing has a completely different molecular structure than what we're used to here on Earth. Isn't that wild? A totally different molecular structure. Yeah. You say, how's that possible? It is. Thank you, Kilbert Trippin. Everyone in their house says time is moving by faster. And you know what? I got to be honest. Everybody in our house is saying the same thing. Time is moving by faster. Even my 18-year-old son, you know, he's cognizant. He's aware of his surroundings. Very bright young man. He too says that time is moving faster. My wife, who's also very bright, she says time is moving faster, you know, in our realities. You know, is our perception of time. You know what? In my next video, I'm going to share something that we just noticed just a couple of days ago. Here's another question I have for you guys. Okay, I'm going to type this one. Okay, because this is true. In fact, I wish I could go do it now, but I'm not. I don't want to leave my desk, but I'm going to have this information ready for you guys in our next live stream. Anyone noticing their clocks being off in their homes? Okay, I just posted a question that I want to ask you guys. Anyone noticing your clocks being different in your homes? Anybody else noticing that? Just here in the last couple of weeks. I'm super, super curious. Hey, what's up, Eric, Michael, Grandma Bev? What's going on, guys? Stephanie, yes, a week is a day now. Mark McCarthy, you're right. I've said the same thing, sir. A day goes by like an hour, and I said the same thing. A week is a day now. It's unbelievable. Corrine, clocks off by 10 minutes. Corrine, ours are off by 8. And it's an electrical wall clock that's plugged into the wall. True, I'll take a picture of it and show you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Revelations. Thank you, Eric. Thank you guys for the comments. Thank you, Janet. Not yet. I want your honest opinion. You know, if it has, yes. If not, that's good too. Yeah, I know, right? It's Friday again, Michael. I'm telling you, shaking my head too. I have a clock in the car not set yet. 11:11, 12:12. A week does seem like a day. You're right. You are so right, Grandma Bev. Super fast. 8 minutes. Whoa, right there, 8 minutes. David Del Cole. So are ours. 8 minutes here in Arizona. No joke. I can prove it. I'll show you guys tomorrow. All modern clocks. Thank you, Graham. All modern clocks full of technology run from GPS. Is that the issue? Graham, here's the thing. This is so weird. Hear me out, guys. We have battery-powered clocks. We have our cell phone clocks right here, and our cell phone clocks are all the same. We have a battery-powered clock that I haven't changed the battery in several months. It takes one, it's a double A battery. It gained a couple of minutes, and it's a clock in the living room. I'll take a picture of it and show you. It's gained 2 minutes compared to this clock right here. And that's the one that we go by, our phones, because they're always the same. The clock in the bedroom has lost 8 minutes somehow, and it's plugged into the wall. 8. It's like someone made a comment there. That's our bedroom clock. I'm serious. Our oven clock has somehow or another lost 3 or 4 minutes. All of our clocks in our house are completely out of sync. The one in the hallway is consistent with this one here, and it's also battery powered. But I have a battery powered that gained time over the course of, say, 5 months? How does that happen? Okay, thank you, Nikki. 10 minutes behind in Utah. A TV clock. Buckeye, 9 minutes slow. Thank you, Mike Sherman. We're 8 minutes slow here in Arizona. No joke. And it's a wall clock. It's plugged into the electrical outlet. I couldn't believe it. Battery clocks. Well, yeah, I understand battery clocks, but I have a battery clock that gained 2 minutes. I'm serious. It gained 2 minutes. I was totally blown away. I have a battery clock. I bought it over a year ago. I've never had to change the battery. That's cool. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate all your comments. They all matter. If yours hasn't, that's important. If yours has, that's important. And if there's been no change, that's important too. The time on my thermostat is off by minutes. My AA battery clock keeps gaining time. Cam Clark. Thank you, Cam Clark, 1985. Ours too. How does a AA battery clock that should be losing power even by just a little bit each day gain time? I don't understand. Thank you, Grandma Bev. Weird times. You're right, BC. I let the clocks decide day by day. Yeah, it is a strange thing. Proton storms or a surge of something can... You know what, Graham? That's a good point. And we just went through a proton storm less than 10 days ago, so maybe that had something to do with it, buddy. Good point. Indiana, 4 minutes ahead. Bobby, your clocks are fine. Thank you. I appreciate all your comments, guys. I really do. Aren't those auroras cool? There's some behind me, too. I got some on the screen, some behind me. Donna, 2 minutes slow. Just out of curiosity, when you get time, you don't necessarily have to do it now. You don't have to ever do it. But if you think about it, and you have multiple clocks in your house or your apartment, just check and see. I'm really curious. I am. Ours are all different. All different. With clocks ahead of time, are you seeing the seconds jump? I can't say that I have, to be honest with you. That's a great question. No, I have not seen the seconds jump. But good question. Thank you for asking. But I will say I was totally taken back, because the clock in the bedroom, like I said, it's 8 minutes off. So when I got up, I walk into the living room, and it was like I went into a time warp. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought it was like 3:58, and I walk into the living room and it's 4:06. I'm like, what happened? So I had to go back and look again. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I got up at 58 and it's already 4:06, and all I did was walk 20 steps from one room to the next. That clock lost time somehow. I don't know how. Oh, did you see Godzilla there, Michael? Yeah, isn't that cool? That's a real cloud, unedited. I didn't do anything to that. Thank you guys for all your comments. Yes, they reported that the Earth's core stopped and reversed. You're right, Graham. Maybe that's got something to do with it, Graham. That could change our perception of time, and maybe, just maybe, because, like you said, the Earth's core is indeed slowing down. There's an article that came out about that, how that's going to affect, it will affect the people on the surface of the Earth, maybe not directly and not necessarily in a bad way, but it can affect the magnetic field and the energies of the Earth, possibly the Schumann and various things like that. Definitely the magnetic field. Well, what if that has something to do with this weird? Hey, Polenta, glad to see you. I wondered where you were at. I hope you got notified. If not, welcome aboard. I'm glad you're here. Now, we're talking about time, and we were talking about our perception of time going by faster. By the way, Polenta, happy Friday. It's Friday again. We just had this conversation. It seemed like, about 8 hours ago. It's already Friday again. Polenta, Polenta, are the clocks in your house, have you noticed the clocks being different? I just noticed here within the last week to 10 days that every clock in our house, with the exception of our phones, are all different. And we have one clock that's plugged into a wall that's 8 minutes slow. Somehow or another, over the last, I don't know, I guess month, I don't know. It's not like I sit around and pay attention to that. I mean, I finally noticed it. It's 8 minutes off. Thank you, Polenta, for the answer. Well, we're noticing it over here in Arizona. That is for sure. Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday again. Wow, pole shift is happening. Maybe that's doing it, Michael. You know what? Schumann kicks up your anxiety. That's a good point. You know what? Someone just said that Debster from New York, and that affects a lot of people in that way, Deb. You're not alone. Just know that you're not alone. Time dilations are real. Thank you, Sunagad. I appreciate that. Oh, Polenta, yeah, you're talking about the fast Fridays. Time is teaching us something. Thank you, Fred. Oh, you were talking about it in the car? Okay, cool. I went out looking for that black van yesterday, and because there was 2 days, there was a black van that was just kind of sitting around the neighborhood. I don't know. Yeah, you don't mean to, it's not a form of paranoia. It's just, it is what it is. You don't normally see black vans sitting in your neighborhood for hours, so you get a little suspicious when you see things like that. I know Polenta had mentioned something about a situation over in Sacramento, not necessarily a black van, but time is going faster. Thank you, Teresa. BC, it affects your dreams. Isn't that wild? I've been sharing with my wife some, just not recently, but yeah, these weird dreams that make no sense here recently. Totally. Thank you, Laureen. So yeah, we've been talking about the time moving by faster, which everybody's pretty much in agreement. It does seem like every time we turn around, it's Friday. Time does seem to be moving faster. Could it be, like Graham suggested, the slowing of the inner core of the Earth? Is that affecting maybe our perception of time? Is it affecting clocks? I know, like I said, all of our clocks in our house are completely different. Is it influencing the ringing of the ear phenomena that my moderator experiences? And I know a lot of other people. There's tons of comments in the comment section of the ringing of the ear phenomena. And it does seem to coincide with spikes in the Schumann resonance and Earth-facing canyons, basically, openings in the sun's atmosphere when it spews solar wind directly at the Earth. People are sensitive to that. I know that for a fact. I did a study on it that involved nearly 100 people, but it got to be too much data for me, just one person, to keep all the data. It was a lot, but I did learn something from it. It wasn't a waste of time. My clock's 24 hours fast. Thank you, Snickle. Trying to catch up with some of the comments here. La Cabrina, my ear's been ringing. Yes, cleaning spiritual house. About trying to catch up with some of the comments here. Thank you guys for all your comments. I appreciate them all. If you want to know something, ask this chat. This chat right here. That's a fact. You guys got the solutions. You guys got the answers. Absolutely. Been tracking the ringing of the ears, Mike Sherman, every single day for years now, and it's ramped up. Thank you, Mike Sherman, for the comment. And it does seem like that. And Mike, You're not alone. You probably got a whole plethora. Oh, thank you, Space Girl, for the super chat. Let me give you a thumbs up there. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very, very kind. You're not alone. And I think it's got something to do with, like Graham mentioned, the Earth's core slowing down. And it is. They've learned that now through seismographs, that the Earth's core is slowing down. All the technology, even, I don't know, where are we at, 2025? 20, Jilly Beans. Hey, what's up, Jilly Beans? Thank you for the dancing pear. That's cool. Don't see those very often. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that, Jilly Beans. With all the technology today, the cell towers and satellite dishes and things like that. Sorry for the brightness there, guys. There's a lot going on, just like right now in this room. There's invisible frequencies flying around all over the place, from the monitor behind me, the monitor in front of me, my router over there across the room. I mean, there's frequencies that we can't see all the time. And those frequencies weren't around, at least from a man-made perspective. Like when I was a little kid growing up, we didn't have all that stuff. You had one TV in the house. That was in the living room. You had one, maybe two phones, in the house that were wall mounted. You had a TV tower out on the outside of your house. It was just a different time. And voice to skull tech. Yeah, all this technology, And then the Earth being perpetually swarmed by satellites. And that number goes up every day, or not every day, every week. They're always putting new satellites in orbit. I mean, there's thousands of satellites orbiting the Earth. What do they all do? Why do we need so many satellites orbiting the Earth? Why? I understand studying and learning and education. I get that. I think that's great. But why does it take thousands? It just seems like a lot. Solar flare. You know what, guys? The sun has been so quiet for the last couple of weeks. I'm surprised. We are in the middle of solar maximum, by the way. So the sun should be hurling flares and CMEs pretty much at least on a weekly basis. Decent sized flares. And it's been quiet. Super, super quiet. Yes. Nibiru, cosmic psychology resonance. I remember years ago, Nibiru used to be a hot topic. I mean, you could hop on any platform, people on there talking about Nibiru, Planet X, Wormwood. And I've studied it, and I can't say that I've ever, hey, love RKN, thank you. Getting late on here, 3 on Atlas update was, yeah, I've got one for you. Thank you for the super chat here. I'll show you real quick. Let me pause this. Here's the update. Nothing specifically new other than this gentleman here. There's where the comet's at. It's approaching the neighborhood, the cosmic neighborhood of Mars. This is what it looks like. Now, they have found, and I can tell by looking at the original over here on the left, this is an image taken from a high-powered telescope by Michael Yeager out of Namibia. They did this during the lunar eclipse when it was super dark. And he did manage to pull forward that very, very thin veil you see around there. And they had to juice it pretty good. And what I mean by that is they had to add a lot of color to it in order for it to come forward. But the fact is, it did respond to the addition. So it turned it green. So that means it does have a very thin green coma. But again, over here on the right, I zoomed in very, very heavily. There's no tail. So at this position, at this point in time, right here, there should be a tail. Honestly, there should be. Should the tail look like this? No. This is a view of a comet Atlas, not this comet Atlas, a comet that was in the solar system back in January of this year, by the way. But it was discovered at the Atlas Observatory. So they get named Atlas, they're just given a different number. But this one was beautiful. Had a big dramatic tail that Nelson said the other day looked like a wing. It does definitely look like a wing. I mean, that thing that's loaded with personality. This thing here It has no personality at all. There's nothing there. There's no tail. There's very, very little evidence of a coma. This was discovered on the 7th. So this is fairly new. I analyzed it on the 8th. So this is a video from the 8th, and that's the newest that I've seen. It's still got this unusual feature on the back. I'm going to show you right there. There it is. There's the object, and there's the feature on the back. I don't know. But I got to admit, the image there does show a green coma. So it does have a little bit of a personality trait of a comet. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know what's up, what this thing is. It is indeed a mystery. And they're even still saying, the experts are saying, even with the discovery of the coma, finally, the green coma, it's still very mysterious because it doesn't have a tail. It's just weird. Weird. Looks like a fish. Yeah, it is super peculiar, Donna Visco. It really is. Thank you guys for all the comments and the super chats. I really appreciate that. You guys are where it's at. It has the polarization. Explain polarization, please, Grandma Bev. Wait a minute. Oil pulling helps through. It looks like a fish. I'm just trying to read some of the comments. Hey, Graham, are we witnessing another civilization shift? I've watched every episode of Ancient Aliens. Oh, well, Graham, that's a great question again. You have a lot of great questions. You know what? Ancient Aliens, where are we at? We are in September, right? I think the new episode of Ancient Aliens comes out this month, maybe here in a couple of weeks. If not this month, next month. And you'll see me in that episode of Ancient Aliens hanging out with Travis from Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah. And we are analyzing a series of videos. I can tell you 4. We analyzed 4 videos, myself and Travis from Skinwalker Ranch. And that episode of Ancient Aliens will be coming out anytime now. And we filmed that back in February. I want to say January, February. I know we filmed it around the 1st of the year. So they've been working on it for a while, doing the editing and stuff like that. They're great people, great crew. Really enjoyed spending time with them. They're great people. So that'll be coming out soon, guys. That's on the History Channel. The Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. And you'll be able to see that here soon. Skinwalkers are everywhere. Yeah, Travis was telling me about his experience up in Utah at Skinwalker Ranch. Travis stays up there for months at a time. Yeah. Yep. Oh, thank you, moderator. Yeah, make sure you follow me when you get a chance. Check your clocks when you get a chance. I'm super curious. I am super curious about everybody's clocks in their home because I was quite surprised. We don't normally see a lot of anomalies around here like that, but that is indeed an anomaly. I can understand a battery-powered clock. Absolutely. We've all experienced battery-powered clocks losing time. They should. But a wall clock that's plugged into the wall loses 8 minutes? How? I knew about the new series coming out. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Graham. Appreciate the plug. Yeah, I didn't forget. I just forgot to mention it specifically. But yeah, thank you, Graham. Yeah, Ancient Aliens coming up here real soon. Great crew of people. Love them all. They're very, very kind. Very, very kind people. And it was a pleasure working with them. It really was. Okay, where are we at here, guys? Oakside is California. Yeah, we filmed it over in California. In fact, I want to say near, where did we film it at? I honestly don't remember. I mean, I remember it was in California near Long Beach. That's all I know. All my clocks were flashing. So Ricky Lynn, you must have had a power outage, huh? All right. We didn't have a power outage. We haven't had a power outage here from a storm or for any reason that matter for as far back as I can remember. So no, it wasn't from a power outage. I honestly don't know. It's just 8 minutes off. The bedroom clock is a complete anomaly. Now, there's one of the darker halos. Somebody was talking about the dark rainbow earlier. There's one of the darker halos that I've received. That's out of Bridge Lake, British Columbia. Clocks take time from satellites. What if the satellites are what if the satellites are in the wrong position, or they were experiencing some sort of anomaly from the proton storm? Sometimes CMEs don't necessarily affect the satellites electrically with static. They can, but they have what's called a safe mode that they can go into to protect them from the staticky conditions. What the problem is, like Graham was suggesting, is they could change their position due to, there's the dark rainbow that somebody was talking about right there. Look at that. They can change their position due to drag because of the density of the CME, the coronal mass ejection, carries a certain amount of density, like a cloud you see in the sky. Some clouds are denser than others. Same way with the CME. Some are denser than others. So the denser they are, the more drag that they put on satellites that are orbiting the Earth, and it can cause them to come off of their geosynchronous orbit just a little bit, which is going to more than likely cause it to malfunction. Good point, Graham. Still flashing 744. No, we haven't had any power outages. We do have a rogue clock, rogue and random. You guys have heard me say that 100 times. I know it, but I still believe that these blinking lights are part of a much bigger picture that we just haven't seen yet. Probably because we're in it. There's the black rainbow right there. Are you serious right now? Somebody mentioned that earlier. Let me, if I can find my cursor. Good Lord, there it is. There you go. Now that is what you call a black double-decker rainbow. Wowza. I believe that was out of Florida. Guys. You know what, guys? That is true. You know, I don't know why it has to be that way. But like my moderator was saying, censorship, it's a real thing, you know. And you know, I don't know why it has to be that way. I can understand if somebody's being way out of line and they're causing trouble and instigating things, stuff like that. But if you're just trying to learn and share things that you find interesting, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? Why censor somebody that's just sharing positivity and fascinating and mysterious things? It doesn't make any sense. You know, that's the whole point of having open platforms so people can be creative and share their ideas. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to like it or love it. If you don't like it, then don't watch it. It's just that simple. Why censor somebody that's just trying to be themselves? It just seems, I don't know, odd. It just seems odd, that's all. Yeah, my moderator sees it firsthand, you know, like this video didn't get recommended and neither do a lot of the videos. So you do all the work and get things ready to go, share things like this, Crown Flash. This is probably one of the most rare videos in the world. Right there, you're looking at it right there. To the best of my knowledge, that is the best example, and I say this very humbly, that wasn't even taken by me. That was taken by a gentleman that shared this video with me personally. He was out of Independence, Missouri. His name was Jeff. And I remember him sharing it with me. He said, wow, this is fun, you know. He was driving his truck, took the video of this super, super, super rare phenomena called Crown Flash. That is the best example of it in the world, and I say that very humbly. It truly is. But it got hardly any views. It didn't get recommended. So, you know, you kind of like, well, why bother? You know, we'll just start keeping the information. You know, you don't want to be that way. But if it's not going to get shared so other people can see it and enjoy it and appreciate it, you know, it becomes a little bit demotivating, if you know what I mean. Oh, thank you, Donna. Yeah, just looking for ideas. That's all. We work hard and we just want to get the most out of our time. You know, your time, my time, are the most precious commodities that we have. Your time is valuable, very valuable, and you don't like to feel like that you wasted your time. You know what I mean? And after a while, you're just not going to waste your time. You're going to move on. So time is our very, very most important commodity, and we got to use it wisely. That's all. Can't sit here and spend your entire day focusing on things that you feel are positive, and you know, according to your emails, that your audience loves this type of stuff, and it goes nowhere. In fact, you go backwards. I've gone backwards for 2 years now. Backwards. Time to go forward, guys. That's all. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. Yeah, it has nothing to do with you guys. You guys are great. You're here hanging out, you know. Thank you. I appreciate your time. I posted it in the comment section. I do appreciate your time, because even before I started this live stream, I'm very fully aware that that time is indeed our most precious commodity. But our perception of time is moving faster, and the general consensus does agree to that. Most people feel like days or weeks. They just boom, another Friday, another Friday. Thank you, Keith Taylor. Appreciate that. Give you a thumbs up. But our perception of time seems like it's moving faster. But yet I have a clock in the bedroom that I'll share with you guys tomorrow or the next day. I don't know how I'm going to, I'll take a picture of it next to my phone. I won't touch it, I promise. It's 8 minutes off. So I have a clock that's lost time, but yet I feel like time is moving faster. It's just like, what in the world's going on? It's a true story. True story. Thank you, Keith Taylor. Our society is backwards. Thank you, Gentle Giant. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I appreciate that. You know, we all want to feel appreciated, and we don't want to feel like we're wasting our time, you know, at anything we do. So I kind of feel like that sometimes. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm an honest man. I am an honest guy. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time over here. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I don't like to feel that way, but it's just simply the truth. I've gone backwards the last 2 years. And up until the last 2 years, you know, your work and the things you do lead you in a positive direction, not backwards. So got to use our time wisely, and that's applicable to everybody. These are some really cool auroras. I didn't forget about these pictures because I go through so many pictures all the time, but these were exceptional. Some of them out of Idaho. This was during a geomagnetic storm. We've got auroras behind us, in front of us. We've got auroras everywhere. Who controls the mind manipulation? Not me. Not me. Good question, though, right? Give peace a chance. Janice S. I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, peace is always the path to follow. That's what the moderator, the Mr. MBB 333 moderator. That's true. Follow peace. So we got to follow peace. And if what you do doesn't inspire peace and give you peace, then, you know, you got to look elsewhere. Got to follow peace. Yeah. They look like watermelon. It does, right? I couldn't agree more. Debster from New York felt stuck many times since April of 2024. What's Graham? You should do a special on the moon and then one on the Bermuda. Okay, you got it, Graham. You know what? Thank you, Graham, for reminding me. I was going to do a video just to talk about the moon, because I was talking about that with my wife the other day, you know, how, and it's common knowledge, we've known this our entire lives, but why do we only see one side of the moon, and we're moving, the moon's moving, and I get the science behind it, the basic science, but it's just kind of odd, you know, that you don't see 1 centimeter more than what we see, you know. So I'm going to write that down, Graham. Thank you. So we're going to do a moon. And then we'll do one on the Bermuda Triangle. I think that's a positive. I like that. I like those. Thank you, Graham. Good idea. Bermuda triangle. Those are interesting topics. I couldn't agree with you more. And there's still a mystery to this day for the most part. I do think the Bermuda's a magnetic anomaly. But you know what? The moon itself is an anomaly. It really is. We take it for granted because we see it every day for the most part. You know, there's a few days that, you know, we don't see it. But the moon's kind of an anomaly. It really is. It's much bigger than most moons for most planets. And even now that we're discovering exoplanets, the moons that they can find are small. They're relatively small compared to our moon. They're very small. So our moon is a bit of an enigma in more ways than one. Did you know the coldest place in the solar system is on the bottom of the moon at the South Pole? How about that? How about that? Just looking at some of the comments, guys. Glad you're all here. I learned from you guys in the comments. Absolutely. You guys are all smart people. Thanks for all the likes and shares. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the super chats and the dancing pairs. Those dancing pairs are humorous. Okay, Graham. If you do Bermuda, look at the Gulf of America as it looks like a giant crater. I know. I will, Graham. And there's something over in the Yucatan that if we could just pull back all of the jungle and just look at the bare earth over there in the Yucatan. Obviously, there's a lot of beautiful pyramids over there, from what I understand. But there's an embedded asteroid, or at least part of an asteroid, somewhere over in the Yucatan. And I will bring that up. There we go. It's on my note card, buddy. We'll start working on that right away. Thank you, Graham. Polenta, have a great weekend. Thank you for stopping by, Polenta. It's always good to see you. Polenta is always positive and an ray of light. It's always good to see Polenta in the house. Thank you, Polenta. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys can, share the videos when you get notified. I know it's hard to share something if you don't get notified. Just share it if you can. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. But it does help me, and it motivates me, because it's very demotivating to spend 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in here a day working on, 30-minute videos, presentations, and they just don't go anywhere. So after a while, it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? And we've already had that discussion about time, and time is our most valuable commodity. We're not going to waste it. So yeah, it's all good. Thank you, Polenta. Have a great weekend. And Friday will be here again, right? Yeah, it's Friday already. We just had that conversation. Polenta was like, have a great weekend. Happy Friday. Friday again. Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, Canada. They see a lot of auroras when we have geomagnetic storms, and even when we don't have geomagnetic storms. And like this coronal hole, believe it or not, it's probably going to spark because it's so Earth directed. And this thing is somewhere in the neighborhood of, I think, 190,000 miles wide. I mean, it's hard to even wrap your mind around. But that's Earth directed because it's equatorial. And that's an equatorial coronal hole that's going to spew unfiltered solar wind, high-speed solar wind, directly at the Earth. So look for that to spark a geomagnetic storm. Where are we at? That was on the 10th. Today's the 12th. I'm going to be honest with you. Any minute. Any minute, yeah. We could see a geomagnetic storm from that coronal hole. Any minute. Usually takes a day. 2 to 4 days for that high-speed solar wind to reach the Earth. But that is lined up perfect because it's right at the equator. It's not above the equator. It's not below. Parts of it are. Parts of it are below the equator, down here and above. But the primary horsepower is at the equator. That's coming right at Earth. So yeah, that will spark a geomagnetic storm. How strong? You just never know with those things because they don't have a specific CME that can be somewhat measured. I've chased CMEs from the time they left the solar flare eruption off the surface of the sun until they impacted the Earth. And you can calculate how fast they're moving. And I remember the first time I calculated one, and it was like 2.3 million miles per hour because we're told that the sun is 93 million miles away from the Earth. So you just use some basic math. It's not complicated. And wow, it arrived in, I don't know, 32 hours or whatever. So it was traveling at like 2 point something million miles per hour. That's just off the top of my head. It's like, wow, how does something like that travel that fast? I'm recently starting to see, I'm sorry, Graham, I missed that comment there, buddy. Thank you. I'm really starting to see your videos again on my Facebook stories. They're great. Oh, thank you, Graham. Appreciate that. Oh, did you? Cool. Let me go back. You just saw yours? Nice. There it is right there. That's Graham. There you go, buddy. That is yours. Very good, Graham. You probably see some spectacular auroras up there in Scotland. This one down here was from northern Georgia in the Atlanta area. How about that? That's rare. They don't see auroras down here in Atlanta very often. And that's out of Bethpage, Tennessee, Jonathan Rogers. That was your aurora photo. Yes, it is. And that made it into this LP. I call it an LP. It's a long play video that is 32 minutes and 32 seconds long. And it is loaded with beautiful auroras, one of them being yours. This one here is another one out of Tifton, Georgia. This was during a fairly strong geomagnetic storm event for it to push Jackson County, Kentucky. Look at that. The sky was split. That was one photo of the sky. Colorado-Wyoming border right here. Darrell H. That was a really good storm that pushed the auroras way down into, I believe, central Georgia. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the storm that my wife and I saw auroras out here from the road. We could see every once in a while a very vague cloud of red go through the sky. And it was auroras being pushed all the way down here to Arizona. Wonderful things come to an end, speaking of time. Half a scram. Oh, thank you, Donna. Appreciate it. Stay focused, stay positive, and follow peace. Thanks for stopping by. Water flows downhill, never up. Thank you, FE Nation. I have a bunch of great photos. Thank you, Angel. Send those photos in, and we'll share them. We have larger holes in the sun for nobody. Eric Krause, that's a good question. Probably because they weren't necessarily right at the equator. If they're a little bit below the equator, that energy is going to go below the Earth. If they're positioned a little bit above the equator, that energy is going to go above the Earth. This one here, I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I'm 95% sure this one here will spark a geomagnetic storm. But stranger things have happened. But I will say it should. And yes, we have had bigger ones facing the Earth, but they could be at unusual angles. They can be thin and then bulky in some places, you know. That one there is shaped like a butterfly. The energy is condensed right to the size of the, it doesn't have like an extremity like we see some that are shaped like a dragon or something, you know. This is more, you know, cohesive. It's shaped like a butterfly. That energy is coming towards the Earth. It should. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Well, listen, guys, it's been a pleasure having you stop by. We're going to focus on the moon. We're going to put together some information about the moon, and we're going to study the moon. And why do we only see one side of the moon? I understand the science behind it, but could it be something else? We're going to talk about the Bermuda Triangle. That's always an interesting topic. Thank you, Graham. And the Gulf of America and the Yucatan. There's some mystery down in that part of the world. Look at this one here, Central Alberta. Sent in by Mike. That was a beautiful sky as well. All right. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to hop off here. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for the likes. And thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I do. Time is our most valuable commodity. It's our most precious commodity. And we don't want to spend time wasting time. So anyway, I'm going to hop off here. I got some things to take care of. Thanks for watching. Have a super day. And as always, be safe out there.